Hello there, friend, and welcome to our collective timeless reading. But if you're showing up calendarically, I have recorded this for July 30th through August 5th. Now, talk about a week of power coming on up. They're talking about roaring like a lion. So some of you may want to do some lion's breath where you're breathing in and I did it as I was coming over the bridge because it's like this crazy dizziness and my neck going out and all these other things. And I'm like, you can't have my body and you cannot have my life. I remember who I am and this lion is going to roar. That's very Martian energy rising up as we choose to utilize it such. What's going on there? Oh, somebody gave me a heart. All right, friend. Thank you. But being able to rise up into what? At the split. Your door to value. Acknowledging your value, because the moment you acknowledge it, it exists. And then your power cuts on, your engine cuts on, your Wonka Veda cuts on, and you're like, oh, that's a revelation right there. We could call it enlightenment, but it's so much bigger because it's creatorship. It's not just about the ooh, the light, and the ooh, the this and that. You come into a self-assurance, which is a knowledge which is very visceral. It comes through all your senses and it resonates. It does all this stuff on its own, and life becomes magical. Look at that. I'm gonna just let you gaze for a minute. You are wise and divine. Look, friend, look at all the little trinkets and the baubles and the nuances, and they're like, what's he talking about, the whiz bangs and the doodlers and all. It's like the lickable wallpaper of Willy Wonka. It's like whatever your heart desires. Put your tongue out and taste it. Put your finger in and lick it. Start delighting your senses, my friend. And you know it's something good when Emerald starts swishing out the way and it says, I'm gonna move over, Rover, and let you get into your delights and enjoy yourself. That means problems, problemating people, situations that kept perpetuating are gone. Okay, because Saturn, you getting on out of here. That old era, that old mindset, that old having to make and to manifest and to do and just getting you out of your truth of your who. Okay, Emerald, because we're getting in the golden ray of the citrine. And look, it's pointing straight up, straight out, coming for you, my friend. And that's very interesting. Some of you may want to listen to some of the Fug That readings from last week if you're new here. All right, because there's a whole lot of magic coming in. And there was a tailwind with Libra. Well, it really started opening up. The zipper was Virgo. And they're like, I'll open this up for all of us. I don't mind. I'm going to do some work if it includes the benefit of all. And then it moved on through the Libra. Libra is where we're going to leave it, because some of you might need to go and listen to the Fug That Libra reading, right? Not Fug Libra, Fug That Libra, right? This one jumped on out. So here's our starting point. Let me see what we got going on here, because the sun's so bright. I got to do a double take. Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, look at that gorgeousness. Well, so that goes along with what we were seeing here. All these little bits and bubbles. I tell you, when I see the sun shining on the water and the shimmer that it makes, I'm like, all those diamonds are in my soul. Wake on up. It's that clarity, that perfection, that purity, that divinity. And this is golden self. Little blips and moments here. Touches of joy, moments of joy. Little pleasures, like they say, the bonbon bite. Just that little bite and that savor that goes so deep and so wide all at once that it opens up your sphere. Takes you from being a flat map, from these just being cards, to this entering into your world. Like this is that one pollinating the zero right there. This is that ray of light entering your pupil, pollinating your soul. Hummingbird says yes. They're like, do you know how hummingbirds have sex? They're like, it's complicated. But we coordinate, we synchronize, we synergize, we syncopate. All right, we're getting into syncopation here, friend. So that means getting in step and getting in tune. And little trips, little things trying to trip you up, don't let them. Just laugh and be like, hee hee, and keep moving, because that thing is trying to slow you down for a moment to get you out of rhythm. Do you ever watch videos when the lips and the words aren't going together? I can't. And if you can, go right ahead. But the thing is when you get into synchrony, do you know how fast this moves? Do you know that sweet nectar? That the sleep at night is deep and restful, but when you wake, you all about it. I'm all for that. I want to know what's going on with this pink flower right here, because that's where you get your power from. Tell us about this pink flower. What's the one to come? Everything is pointing everywhere. Your compass is trying to go in so many directions. So hummingbird spirit, is sitting here saying, aim your focus. Your focus, your attention. What are you paying attention to first and foremost? Okay, friend? It's a good question to ask yourself, because when we ask ourselves questions, that's how we actually open up. What have I been paying attention to? What have I been physically setting my eyes upon? Because that's what this Door Value and the Blossoming Abundance is saying. What have I physically been looking at? What have I been paying attention to? Me, as someone who suffered physically a lot and a body worker who's able to help heal people, I tend to see people's like strangers walking by. I'm like, ooh, ow, ooh, I see that, and that's coming from the and Spirit's like, no, 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 you can't look with those eyes anymore. You can't look with those eyes anymore, because we're trying to get you into the beauty and the perfection. And not that those things don't exist. It's just that that's what my whole world became, okay? It became jaundiced. It became afflicted by that. So I want to get you out of the affliction, and the Magician in the mirror is holding open that treasury. I'm glad it turned this crap upside down. Oh, they said, don't even look at it. That predatory vibe, those parasite vibes. Thank you for getting out of here. All right, so who's handling that? You can call in the Magician in the mirror to handle those things that used to prey upon you, okay, to clear that out, that put you at a disadvantage, things that preyed upon your bank account. Right now, Magician in the mirror, we invite you in to remove those things that have preyed upon our bank accounts and sucked it dry, wherever it was coming from, the mindset, the whatever else, the pestilence, the parasites that came through karma, came through family lines. We ask you to just move across that right now, because see, look, he's got a crossing energy, and we're realigning and coming into the truth of our compass in the center of ourself to help us land into what? Our part of fortune, our blossom in abundance. Look at that life full of peace and harmony and beauty and delight, because you in step with your rhythm. You are a fine dancer coming on in. And that Four of Swords, that sloth, it's been a long time coming. I'm saying you don't have to keep going this way and that anymore. These are cosmic cards. So like the cosmic beaver who decided to bust on out and didn't have to do the work and the labor and the head down and being cut off from the world at large, having to separate itself, then you don't have to be slow anymore. Slothfulness does not have to hold you back. That spirit over you, which is like a wet blanket, which is like trying to swim 5 miles to save your life with your clothes on and carrying your baby under one arm and trying to save the one little memento from a grandparent that died all at the same time, and you like trying to get across. You drown and you dying, and your mind is screaming. They're saying that's what that was, the scream. But that's why it's upside down. They're coming in upside down, the scream. No more screaming and crying, friend. Hummingbird spirit is here for you, and I say to fight for you. That means you don't have to fight for your rights anymore. This is your privilege and your honor to live this life, this beauty of who you are. There's nothing wrong with you. Those things that people may or may not get about you are your nuances. You ever get those pieces of clothing or a handmade bag, and it says there might be little things perceived as flaws, but this is the nature of a handmade good, because each one is unique and divine, and obvious that it's not mass produced. You ain't mass produced. You were handcrafted, my friend. Okay, so we're going to get into that. That's that pink flower. Let's find out what's going on with that pink flower. We got a little bit of play coming in, some 3 cups. Look at these quokka. Is that called a quokka? I don't know, but they're these cute little things, and they're I think they're native to Australia, and that's what they do. They have a permagrin. They have a permagrin. So about life being hospitable towards you, that's why I love that I have nature cards, because nature never seeks to take advantage of anyone. It's always offering its advantage, its connection to us, because more than a human being, we are human nature. And if we get into our nature, we'll be human beings, not human doings, and we won't be inhumane, right? So it gets us into that natural balance, that flow, that essence that isn't ruled by a clock. Because I'm telling y'all, I'm a very solar person. And so as the days get longer, whatever else, I don't always eat on the same time of the day, because I have different activities that are wanting to erupt and to enjoy and to live, to embrace the sunshine. So my life ebbs and flows with the seasons, just like farmers do, right? When we used to live outside of boxes, or we lived in little boxes and we lived most of our life outside of them, talk about making you smile, my friend, getting you in your nature. It's like they're coming up out of little cabbage leaves. Even though they're not the little teacups, just these little cups of love, these touches of love. I love it, because just like the hummingbird, everything's all these tiny touches. It's like fine embroidery. It's like a hand-beaded gown. Ooh, luxurious, my friend. Do not despise these small beginnings because they are luscious. And like I remember when I took French in high school, they talked about that their term of endearment was, oh, my little cabbage. My little cabbage. All right. So this is a term of endearment. So maybe you don't have to hear that old craptastic being around your mind or experiencing the pain or suffering of decisions or things that have happened or have not happened to help you that were diminishing and draining that bank account, draining your energy account in your life, draining your confidence in yourself and your feeling loved by the world, creating that deficit, that like suction power, that extractor feeling unloved. If you've seen Monsters, Inc., you know what that's about, the scream, that laughter and love are more powerful than scream, and they look to contribute, to give. They are not deleting and sucking it out of boot anymore. Anything here to scare you. Some delight is coming in for you, that blossoming abundance. This is not a trick or a trailer. This is the truth. This is your story. This is your life coming for you to extract you out of where you were stolen away to by karma, by the world that you were born into, the conditions you were born into. Maybe it could have been health conditions. Maybe it could have been accidents. Maybe it could have been a broken home or people with messed up minds around you, putting curses all around you like landmines that you're trying to navigate out to get out of the war zone. Hummingbird is here. It's like, I'm going to extract you. Said, not only do I suck nectar out of flowers, I also store some up like honeysuckle. I'm going to put a little drop of that honeysuckle nectar on you. Some of you might vibe with some honeysuckle right now. Go to where there is some honeysuckle. Maybe find you some essences, because a lot of perfume companies now, or fragrance companies, are doing natural extracts and things like that. And find you one that resonates with honeysuckle, a honeysuckle candle. I mean, Hummingbird is coming in with all this honeysuckle, and it's not heavy on the vine, any of the trappings. It's talking about the delight, the little cabbages, the little cabbage patch. Some of you might want to go out to a you-pick farm and get out there and pick you some berries or whatever else, or just buy the produce straight fresh from the one who produced it. Getting back to the source, doing away with that middleman, because that middleman has some agenda, my friend, and it's called taxes, and it's called charging interest, and it's like not being aligned with your divine self now that you can pay cash in hand when your soul's like, oh, I want to go on this trip. Oh, look at that ring over there. I like, oh, I want to go out to eat to dinner with my friends. Where are they going? They're going to the steakhouse. Okay, I can afford that. Do you see what I mean? Not having to rob Peter to pay Paul. That broken gap. That gap that was occurring that you were born into, we bridge in that gap. We bridge in that gap, and it's talking about a little playful spirit, a little playful energy coming in, unwinding this ball of yarn, this thing that got all balled up that is made to be your covering and is a divine cosmic. What is that? The fabric of the cosmos. So this can let you know some little things might come in that try and trip you or snag you, but remember, just keep going. You might want to watch this Sagittarius Fug that reading to get a little more elucidation on that. But you just, like, if you stumble a little bit, be like, hee, and then just keep going. Do not look at it. Do not pay attention to it. And if you even acknowledge it, just be like, oh, that's more than ridiculous. And then go get yourself a smoothie, or go on and do your hula hoop, or click on your favorite show, but don't let that background sit there, that noise. Flick it off, because not everybody has a chip on their shoulder. Some have a squawk box sitting there going, trying to drown out your delicious, delightful, beautiful rhythm and soul. Hummingbird are going to stand that. They ain't studying that. They ain't studying that, putting that drop of honeysuckle nectar, that sweet divine life on you, that pure pleasure and that innocence of childhood, being able, they're moving so fast, Hummingbird. Being able to imbibe in whatever brings you pleasure. Ooh, what's in here? Ooh, what's over there? Ooh, what's that? Curiosity and delight. And you aren't poking up in some hen house and in some problems. That's why they're saying don't get stressed by any of this, because that tries to jump you into this. And we are not letting the parasites in anymore. Pure, perfect desire, my friend. I love it for you. I'm excited. What a fantastic moment. Again, if you're showing up calendarically, I wish you well. I wish you paced through this. You could come revisit this to get a little refresher. If it seems like, ooh, that's not happening for me, I don't know what she's talking about, tune back in and ask yourself some questions, and then click the video on and watch what happens, because it's about your receptivity. This is about you and your divine guide, yourself getting on the same page. Not about my words, friend. That's why it's called Joy to the World. Everybody's joy is something that's individual and personal and just for you. We just look to stir it up here, the atmosphere for it. Ooh, you spied something over there. I see it, my friend. So follow what you spy with your little eye. Enjoy this curious, beautiful Permagran adventure of loving your life. All right, you can subscribe to this channel. I'd love to have you here with me. Also, tap that like button. Give me a vote to rise to the top. Leave me your comments and compliments. And as always, remember, you were loved and I love you. Love yourself, friend.